Division 2, the A final. Kenneth Hansen with a lot to prove. On song today, the engine going better than it's gone for ages. Alongside him, Schanche, who said in the press, I am going to go out there and give it my max as I always do. So it'd be good to see him and Hansen side by side. Jean-Luc Payet is on the second row of the grid. And alongside him is that very fast starter of the day with that view of Schanche's car, Per Eklund. And then the rear of the grid, Christopherson there by virtue of his tremendous driving. And alongside him, Michael Jernberg. The last Division 2 A final of the season. And it really says it all just looking at the grid.
It does feel the last race of the season, and a high-quality grid it is. 6 drivers all thoroughly deserving to be in there. And as the lights turned to green, it looked as though Kenneth Hansen had the run into that first corner, and indeed he did. Kenneth Hansen leads this one from Martin Schanche. Jean-Luc is in third place, but very, very sideways. Per Eklund is fourth, then comes Tommy Christopherson. Oh, and Schanche is out. Schanche onto the bank. I think he may have had a little bit of assistance in that, but Martin Schanche is out, effectively out of the race. Even if he gets going again, he's certainly not going to be up there challenging. And now it's all looking rather good, and it's a Citroen 1-2 at the moment.
But we're going to have this rear guard situation again here. If it's necessary, Jean-Luc Payet will be there, protecting the back of his Citroen counterpart.
That's right, and of course this is what he was intended to do towards the end of the season when he knew he couldn't win the championship himself. He wanted to do everything he could to make it a hat-trick for Citroen in the championship. That hasn't happened. There's the guy who's won it, who is characteristically moving the car just as the rest of the field go past.
Reversing out into the front of Kenneth Hansen. And I'm wondering, looking at the bodywork again on Jean-Luc Payet, I know he damaged it a little earlier on, but I'm wondering if he had anything to do with Schanche's exit there.
Might have been, there might have been, who knows, but it's Eklund in third place, so it's Citroen, Subaru, and then it's Audi. And there's not a Ford in the top 4 at the moment. As I said, we look like we could have as many as 10 manufacturers involved in this championship next year. If Volvo come in, Opel come in, Toyota move into this category as well. It's going to be really fabulous. I'm getting excited about it already, and we hope that we're going to be able to show you the best of the action from the European Championship next year. But we're watching the best of the action of 19 and 95 here, and there is the outgoing champion. He's going to end the championship season with a vengeance here. Kenneth Hansen is going to go out with victory, I think, as he brings the immaculate Shell Oils Citroen Sweden ZX 4x4 Turbo through to go into the start of another lap. Jean-Luc in second place with the Xantia, the car that some people said was too big, it will never work, but by heavens he certainly made it work. And what would Rallycross be these days without Per Eklund there with that Impreza? That is such a spectacular motor car. Great to have such an international star in our sport, and I think, Peter, it's been a great season, don't you?
Well, it's been changeable. This is what's been so interesting. You've seen people developing the cars and moving up, and other people dropping back and becoming less competitive. We've seen people swapping engines, whether it be Will Gollop or whether it be Tom Christopherson. At various stages, things have been in and out. And come the end of the season, they've just really set the scene for next year.
They have. My personal disappointment is, of course, that we can't get better budgets for the British drivers. I can name you a lot of young British drivers who I'd love to see out here doing justice for this. If Volvo like to contact us, we can give them some names of British drivers you can put in their 850 who would do it great credit, I can assure you of that. I would love to see that, but let's get British industry putting their hands in the pockets and getting behind the British drivers and getting a British champion back one day, hopefully, which Will Gollop, of course, has previously taken, as has Richard Hutton. But we're watching the closing stages of the climax of the European Championship for 19 and 95, and it's Kenneth Hansen coming through then, surely to take the last victory of the season. He's going to go out in style, no doubt about that. Jean-Luc looks as though he's going to make it a Citroen 1-2. Behind him, the Impreza and the Audi are challenging all the time. They can't find a way through. The Swedish flags are being waved, and they sense that it's 3 Swedish drivers there in the top 4 today. I think they're coming up to lap somebody. That could be Michael Jernberg, who's going fairly slowly around the circuit. Yet another Swedish driver. There's Michael Jernberg coming through. He's going to keep well out of the way, because behind him comes his fellow countryman to take the checkered flag. And the last victory of the season, a Citroen 1-2, Subaru third, and Tommy Christopherson fourth with the Audi.